Well, it's been a little over 3 weeks since I've even touched the Cub. Unfortunately, with all the stuff going on in the world, I haven't really had any time to work on it, but I have a little bit of time now over the next few days, so decided to do a little work on it. Very minor little thing that I've done here today that I'm actually really happy with. Happy I decided to do this. This upper baggage floor was supposed to be originally attached using just these standard sheet metal tabs that you put a sheet metal screw in. And I had those on here, but they were all kind of going in at weird angles and stuff just because of the way screws are. And then obviously the problem with screws is that over time, if you have to take them out, they're just going to grow the hole bigger and bigger. Ideally, anywhere on the airplane that I can avoid using these sheet metal tabs, I'm going to. So anyway, I just picked up some small bolt screws and some nuts to fit on them, and I drilled out that sheet metal hole slightly larger to fit these. So now this whole thing will just be attached by the little nuts and bolts rather than sheet metal screws, so that if I have to remove it again, that'll be easy enough. Since I screwed these out, or since I drilled these out, and that gets rid of some of that powder coating on the inside of the hole there, I ended up just putting some peroxytone in those holes, so hopefully that'll protect them over the years. What I really want to do with these sheet metal tabs, in any place that I can, is take a number 4, I think it is, nut plate. Yeah, I think a number 4 should fit if I do it at a 45-degree angle, and put a nut plate on each of these sheet metal tabs, so that way I'm not drilling sheet metal screws into them. I'll just be using the screws that go into the nut plates instead. So that would be a lot nicer, so I think I'm going to try to do that on as many of these tabs as I can. Some other big updates since the last time I did a video was I got all my stuff from Carbon Concepts in, so I now have the storage under the back seat here. One of the issues that I'm finding is that my seat sits a little shallower than normal, I guess. So the way this storage is sitting right now, it actually sits well above this bar. So I think I'm going to end up cutting this piece of wood right here, right about here, all the way across. So that'll help lower the baggage a little bit, but not enough. So then I'll probably have to I'm thinking about just using a square tube and having it welded on top of this tube or something for the seat to rest on. So that's something that I'll need to figure out. Right now I've got test fitting just all the seat belts. I put 2 new inertial reel seat belts in, so that'll be nice. Price on those things went way up in the last couple of years, by the way. They literally doubled from the last time I was looking at buying them. Temporarily I've installed my sticks here. What I'm finding is that my old torque tube does not fit with new sticks. Inside here, this tube right here comes down, and there's an attachment in here with a rod that runs through the tube up to the front attachment, and that rod connects the aileron cables, elevator cables, and the cable goes back and forth then, but unfortunately the distance from this pivot point to the rod on my old torque tube is slightly shorter than the standard, so the rod is actually rubbing on the inside on the top of this torque tube, and that means that I only have about this much travel with my sticks before it starts rubbing. So that's probably not enough movement, unfortunately, so I think I'm going to have to get a new torque tube. I looked at a couple other options. Could I use my old pieces here? Unfortunately, if I use the old ones, the stick doesn't fit, so then I'd have to get a new stick. I don't know. I think the easiest thing is just going to be to get a new torque tube. So that's the challenge that I'm facing right now. Test fitting the boot cowl pieces on. So I'm going to start working on those hopefully here soon. What I want to do here is, rather than screwing in to the Piper U-channel like you would normally do, I saw another guy on YouTube who was doing a cub restoration where he put nut plates inside the U-channel all the way around. So I think I'm going to try to do that, and I'll probably end up doing nut plates on here as well, all the way around. So it'll make it a little easier. This is pretty much the only piece from Carbon Concepts that generally fits inside my cub right now. I need to do a little bit of trimming here, as you can see, but it fits pretty decently, so that's nice. I did a test fit of the piece that goes right here, and I then cut it out, and I was really dumb and realized that when I did the test fit, I had it hanging on the outside of this bar. So then when I went to put it inside, I had cut it opposite of what it needed to be, so I need to get a new one of those. But I wanted to try with a small piece first, and now, lesson learned, won't do that again, so I just need to order a new one from Carbon Concepts, which is fine because I need to get an instrument panel from him anyway. I thought I'd ordered one, but I guess I didn't, so I'm planning to get a carbon fiber instrument panel. And then the only other thing I'm going to do today is I'm going to actually take these all off my phenolic block mounts here. I'm going to redo them basically exactly as they are, but I'm going to put a bigger piece of rubber on so it wraps around a little more, because some of these places, this little guy right here might rub, this guy might rub, get some vibration, start rubbing through the tubes. So those are going to look exactly the same, just going to put bigger pieces of rubber on them. But that's pretty much the update for now.